Do expensive art supplies actually help beginner artists? That's what we're going to find out today. Comparing cheap own brand acrylic paint with fancy paints. I am a complete beginner with this medium, so we're going to test the theory and paint the best Met Gala looks of 2026. Okay, let's do it. Can you believe we've actually been here before in 2022 painting this page? And I thought this was gonna be a yearly tradition, but completely forgot about the Met Gala every single year since. I remembered we have paper. Hopefully this is gonna work. It's canvas paper for acrylic paint. But first we need a sketch. Painting 2 looks with the cheaper paint and then 2 looks with the fancy paint. By Beyonce, Emma Chamberlain, Gwendolyn Christie, and Heidi Klum. Okay, we'll give this a try. A little art hack for you. One thing I love to do is sketch with a graphite pencil and then reach for a good color pencil and define the line work on top. These are harder to erase, and that means you can just erase everything and you'll be left with the color pencil. It works so well. Oh, what color's this? Okay, we got a fancy white, yellow, blue, and pink. These are the cheaper paints. I got every single one of these in a Facebook Marketplace haul. And now for another little trick. How to make your own stay wet palette. Get a plastic tray, add some water, pop in some kitchen roll to absorb some of it. Then reach for tracing paper and pop it on top. Honestly, it works. Like, you've got to try it. Oh, why is the paint not coming out? This is so hard, look at it. It's so thick and dry and lumpy. And it smells. What is that? Okay, what is up with this washi tape? It has tape behind the tape. Who decided that would be a helpful thing? Now we have to peel it twice. Such a shame. I love this pattern. Look how pretty it is. Okay, first up, the expensive side. This is looking a little bit like a skin tone, but I'm gonna be honest, already I am kind of scared. I'm used to watercolor. Hello, if you're new here, welcome to the channel. ChantelleArts, and I mostly use watercolor. This is very different. The first layer isn't doing very much, so I think we need to layer. Just keep going and hope for the best, I guess. The theme for the Met Gala this year is fashion is art. So, ignoring all the politics around the Met Gala and the celebrities and all of that kind of stuff, the theme is fashion is art. And a lot of the outfits were inspired by paintings. So, as artists, I do think we should be appreciating that. It's really lovely to see. It's wholesome, and some of these pieces really did make me feel, I guess, proud to be an artist. We're starting off with the looks worn by Beyonce and Emma Chamberlain. I'm gonna say now, there are a lot of names, and I'm probably gonna pronounce some of them wrong. You have been warned, trying our best here. The biggest thing I noticed with this theme, unfortunately, I guess it happens a lot, but a lot of outfits weren't really on theme. And the biggest thing, for some reason, most of them are kind of monochrome. There's a lot of black, white, cream, silver, beige, and it was kind of difficult to find bright colors. So we have a bright colour on one side and there'll be a bright colour on the other side too. Beyonce's look I absolutely love. Unfortunately, I'm not really doing it justice here. But basically it's like a skeleton. This is what it looks like. It's so cool. And skeletons are just kind of cool, aren't they? I don't know about you, but I really love to draw skulls. I love to paint them. And I think that's quite a common thing actually. Let me know down below, what do you think? Would you draw draw a skull. Do you know you like drawing skulls? Because that's where I'm at. Now, I've got to say, number one of the entire event this year, I think it's gotta be Emma's look. It's by Mugler and inspired by Vincent van Gogh's paintings. And if that is not perfect for all of us, it is so beautiful. I didn't know it was inspired by that. Probably explains why I fell in love with it immediately. Like, look how beautiful it is. And actually, because it's hand painted, it's kind of looking like the dress already, which is crazy. Okay, let's talk about some other outfits. One I absolutely love. Didn't think we'd be able to pull off today, because let's be real, for this to work, we need to compare colors. And we're not using black. No black is involved, which is a little bit of a challenge. But I want to see just how rich these colors go by themselves. And black can sometimes hide that, as well as making it a little bit more muted, which I think would make it a little bit harder to compare. Anuk Eye, sorry if I mispronounced that. Look how gorgeous this look is. Looking like a golden sculpture. Absolutely stunning. And you know what? I think if you had metallic paint, they could look incredible as a painting. Stunning. I love it. Of course, Madonna was there and looking very Madonna-like. It's a vibe. I mean, she knows her style and good for her. It's gothic. It's creepy. I kind of love it. And just like that, I think we've completed the first half. Oh, that was trickier than I thought it would be. Had some lunch, got a tea. Now we're moving on to the tricky part, which I'm really concerned about because that was pretty tricky in itself. And now we're moving on to the cheap art supplies that were virtually free. Also, I'm going to be completely honest, okay? In the last 5 years, I have used acrylic paints like twice. And before that, I didn't really use them. Like, this is probably about the 4th acrylic painting I've created in my life. So I don't know how this is gonna go. And I don't know what made me think I could do this. The old Stay Wet palette, it's actually working. It's not gone through at all. Oh, I just remembered how smelly that paint was. First up, we have the own brand Wilco paint. I'm thinking this isn't gonna be very opaque. I think that's gonna be the biggest difference. So we'll do quite a bit of white. Blue, this is the Works own brand. It looks pretty old, but of course I got these from Facebook Marketplace, so it did not cost that. It cost that for the whole thing, and it was a big haul. Oh, it's just so lumpy. This is the yellow from earlier. Why does it smell? Oh, it's so lumpy. And this is own brand The Works as well. Closest colors that we have. Guess the first question is, can we mix a skin tone? So there's our pink, and oh, it's so thick. Why is it so thick? A little bit of blue. That's not brown. Maybe we'll make a slightly whiter one up here as well. Kind of orange. I think we can work with that. Oh, I can smell it. Oh, I just realized we're gonna struggle with the statue without black. Guess it's gonna be colorful. Moment of truth. It doesn't look far off a skin tone. Okay, they're quite pink. They are quite pink. Gonna need some more white. This is so pink. It looks so different. And I might just do all of this, to be honest. We're gonna come back. It's looking a bit pink and a bit chalky. To keep it fair, we're using the same colors, which means we haven't really got a red, we've only got pink, but we're gonna try our best. This is looking very orange. Oh gosh, what are we gonna do with this? I don't know why the colors are looking so different as they dry. That's the biggest thing I'm noticing right now. Okay, so it's pink right up here, and at this point it's just about getting the color down. I didn't realize, but it looks like acrylic works best when you do lots of layers. Let's just do it all pink for now. We'll come back to it. Moving on to down here, I don't think it really matters too much. I think we just need to start getting some white down because I don't think it's gonna be very opaque. So we can add the color later. And to be honest, because this is a medium that I don't really know at all, it's actually a pretty good test. I mean, so far this white doesn't look too bad. Oh, the hair. Completely missed that. Just getting that first layer down so it has something to stick to. So far I haven't noticed very much difference. It looks a bit chalkier and it dries a slightly different color to what it looks like on the palette, but for a fraction of the cost, there's not much difference right now. I am a little bit concerned how we're going to get those rich deeper tones from this colour palette? I don't know. Okay, let's go ahead and do the second layer. Onto the cheaper paints, we have Gwendolyn Christie, who, fun fact, this look was actually designed by her partner, and that is just adorable. They've actually been together like 13 years, and it makes this piece even more wholesome. I think of everyone, this might actually be closest to the theme, mostly because of the mask as well as the headpiece. Oh, it just fits perfectly. It looks like a costume. However, Heidi Klum, I'm sorry, we have to paint this look, even though it's probably just gonna look like we've painted a sculpture or a statue. She looks incredible, and don't get me wrong, most of her outfits do look incredible, but this look is a masterpiece. It looks like she can't move, but she can. It's crazy. I don't know how they did it. You've got to see the videos of this because it looks crazy. Maybe one of the best looks ever in the Met Gala. Another notable mention, Sabrina Carpenter, who is wearing film from the film Sabrina. It's a dress made of actual film, and how cool is that? Also, the bubble dress, absolutely love this. Honestly, it made me think of Christine from Courageous Painting. It's such a cool look. And moving on to the second half, it's a little bit eye-opening, I'm not gonna lie, because this is kind of working. Big things I noticed. Firstly, I don't know how, but the white is kind of good. It's working pretty similar to the other one. Now that was surprising, but I think we have gotten through more paint. Perhaps it doesn't stretch as far, maybe. The biggest problem I've noticed so far, I don't know if you can tell, I'm really struggling to get any kind of depth from these paints. The colors do not look rich or deep. You can see in the feathers they're supposed to be really dark areas, and we're just not getting those rich deep tones. The same with the dress. It's pink with darker sections on top, and they don't exist here. Layering and layering, even just straight from the tube, these colors are just not getting deep and rich. However, I've gotta say, as a beginner with acrylic paints, compared to other mediums, I don't think there's a huge difference. Like how with watercolor, the paper is the big deciding factor, and cheap paper versus expensive paper makes a huge difference. Same with color pencils. Cheap color pencils versus something like Caran d'Ache. Yeah, there's a big difference. These, I'm not really feeling that much. I think you could get away with a cheap yellow and a cheap pink, but buy yourself a nice opaque white and a deep indigo, something like a really rich Payne's grey, and I think you'd be sorted. I don't think you need to get an entire expensive set, and looking at this piece, I don't think you need any more than 3 colors, especially starting out. The expensive side was easier to create and less frustrating, but I think you could get away with using cheap paints for a little while, and then see if you like acrylic paint, and if you do, add them to your Christmas list, get them for your birthday. It should be something that you work towards, getting the best that you can afford at that time comfortably. I don't think it's an immediate thing. Definitely make sure you see if you like the art supply first, but the result doesn't look that different. The biggest factor is that it's more frustrating. More layers, more blending. Oh, the colors shift like anything as they dry. The cheaper colors started off what looked like a pale skin tone and then dried virtually pink. So yes, you can create good art with cheap art supplies. And with acrylic paints, you don't need to rush to buy the best art supplies because you can still create good art. However, if you're starting to get frustrated, that's when you should invest into the better art supplies. And hey, why don't you check marketplace and thrift stores and see what you can find? That's how I got all of these. And with that, I think we're done. Oh, I can't believe how many colors are on this page. Very different looks, and it's looking like a poster. Let me know down below whose Met Gala look you like the best this year, and what are your thoughts on acrylic paints? Is there much of a difference between cheap and expensive? Yes, after you've been using them for a long while, but as a beginner, it's not super noticeable. Well, if you've enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Have a fantastic day, make yourself a cuppa, and I'll meet you back here on Thursday. Bye bye.